Hi, my lovely people. I really appreciate you. Let me start by saying that for subscribing to Love Between a Boy and a Girl. It is great. I really enjoy giving you lots of behind the scenes of what's going on. But this time I thought I would do something a little bit different. I'd come to you in a video form. So I thought I'll try this out and see how it goes. But what I really wanted to tell you today was about what I have learned on this long journey of book writing. And let me tell you, although I was kind of prepared, I don't think I was really prepared for how long each process takes. So it was all well and good. I wrote the book in 9 months, which was good for me. But now the whole going through the editing is quite long. And what I have learned is just a few things, basic things that will help me when I come to write the next book. And that is when I'm writing to be very mindful of dates, of when the story is set, always keeping that in mind so the reader can follow where I'm going. Another thing that I had to realize was that when I'm writing in past tense. So what Rhoda found out when she was going through my work and editing it was that I was mixing the present and the past. And so it would throw the reader off. So I have learned this valuable lesson to write in the past tense. So that was a lot of editing that she had to do because for me as the writer, I just want to get my story out. So I was literally just writing it as it came into my head, writing it down, which is great. But a good thing to do is after each chapter is to read it back, read it aloud, even tape your voice so you can hear it, so you can tell the flow and if it sounds right. Obviously your editor, will do that for you, but the more you can do yourself, the better. The less time all the editing takes, it works out cheaper because obviously this is someone's time who goes through your story. So try and do as much as you can for yourself. I've got a few notes here. That's why you'll see me look down a few times, but I don't want to forget anything. Another thing I learned was that at the end of each chapter, you have to end it in a way that the reader wants to read the next one. I hadn't thought about that as I was going along. I just was getting it down, but not realizing that it's really important that after each chapter, it ends in a way that keeps the reader's interest going. So it follows into the next chapter and they want to read it. They want to read it because really your ultimate goal is that the reader will literally just want to read your book in a weekend. Well, that's what I would like anyway. Something else that I've learned is to do a lot of research. Depending on what the story is, and mine is a love story, but there's also different things going on within the story with the characters. So, I had to do some research so that it makes sense. Another big thing I learned to do for the first book to when I write the second book is to write about each character in depth. I took some time out to literally have all the characters' names and just write quite a lot on that person. So by the time I finished, I know each person inside out, what they might say, what they might do, so that when you start to write the story, you know what the character's going to, say or do. So that really helped me to get through it and for it to make sense. Another tip I learned was to have some humor, keep it real, because that's the kind of stories I want to write, real things that happen. So much so that I'm beginning to feel like some of my friends may not want to speak to me because whatever they tell me, they're probably thinking, oh, she's going to put that in her next book. Well, to be honest, there's a possibility of that because I want to deal with real life and what really happens to people. it's not all fairy tales, as we know. Life just isn't that way. And I think it makes it more interesting when things happen that either really does happen, but also what I really wanted to do was, with some of the topics in the story, to really get a feel of what is really going on, how people really feel. And I think that's going to be my thing with writing, to actually act out what I'm trying to write. So sometimes I'm here and I want to write a scene, and so I literally physically get up and do the thing. So I try to capture each moment, each feeling, and think about what I'm thinking and feeling and try and get that down on paper. It sounds long and it might sound mad, but it makes sense. It really does. And so this journey has taught me a lot. It really has. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to hold this book. And I cannot wait for you all to read it. So it's just really to let you know, my whole process of writing this book. It took a lot, but I'm so happy with it, and I cannot wait for you to read it. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you a little bit more of behind the scenes. So take care until I catch up with you again.